Howdy, hey, hi, Spaceman Josh here, and welcome back to Planetbase. Now, a couple of things has happened since the last video. Unfortunately, I recorded some videos, but the audio track was all messed up, and I was unable to fix it with the current software I have available to me. So quite a bit has happened actually in-game, in between videos, and to start off, I'm gonna take you all through basically some of what's happened from what I can remember from where we left off into where we are now. So, couple obvious differences is I have built some more structures. We have the entire all the plants are all the spots for plants have been filled on the large new biodome. I have built a lab as well as put in a workbench in it to create medicine. I have a robotics facility that has 2 structures building robots as well as 1 auto repair thing being built. I have put in a large canteen with 2 more meal makers. I have put in a large dorm, as well as the number of people I have has gone up from 15 to 27, as well as I have another robot. It's a driller robot that works in the mines. The people I got where I have more workers and biologists, engineers, and basically I have more of everyone. I now have 9 guards, 8 biologists, 5 engineers, 3 medics, and 2 guards. And I don't plan on getting too many more, especially throughout this video. I put in another water extractor because I ran out of water trying to pull these plants here. I put in a semiconductor foundry to the factory. That pretty much sums up everything that's sort of happened since the last video. I got quite a bit done actually in the couple of videos that I recorded. Unfortunately, like I said, the audio was just all messed up. It was pretty bad. But things happen. We'll move on and continue going. And so if I switch over to the resources, I actually now have a steady sort of income of starch. And so starch and bioplastic isn't as much of a concern anymore. Driller bots are actually a lot more efficient than workers, and pretty soon I hope to be able to have 3 driller bots all in there. The maximum slots have, of course, 3. I only have 1 semiconductor so far, and it's been placed over here while we need another semiconductor to build the Autobot repair. And then the robots themselves actually take metal, bioplastic, and another semiconductor to build. So hopefully we can get some more semiconductors built soon. Actually, we have an engineer working on it right now. Besides that, it really doesn't. Yeah, that's pretty much. And then a trader, I was able to get the actual blueprint for a driller bot from the trader. Yeah, that's pretty much all that's happened. So we'll go ahead and keep on going. I think from here, something I experienced was that the bioplastic processors, while have been pretty good on continuing the production, there have been times where the workers haven't always been able to been on all 4 of the processors, as well as being in the mines. As currently only a third of the workers are able to take care of their needs at any given time during the day. All the rest of them are doing something. And so what I plan on trying to do is eventually I want to make another processing plant to help build more of the metal processors and the bioplastic processors. That way, when I have driller bots in here, I have 9 workers and only 4 items over here that they work on. They can continue working with other processors to increase the production. And let's see. I have the robot facility that once I get enough resources, I want to fill the rest of the slots with the auto repair. I think that was pretty much the generic plan. I think every building I've built so far since the last episode has always been a large building, because I've been able to have the metal and the bioplastic to create the large buildings. So I think from here, what I'm gonna see, sort of plan out what I want my next moves to be, and then I'll go ahead and pull through with them. I know that I wanted to start building towards the left, because if I go to the right, there isn't a whole lot of building space left in this direction, at least none that's easy to work with anyway. But over this way, it's a large open space. Oop, I passed the mountain. And then we can continue on this way as well as down this way. That way there's just more things to work with. And then building outdoor facilities more along out this way that takes a little more finesse. And I don't want to build too far out from the airlocks, just because if the sandstorm happens and they're on, a mile away from the actual airlock, that could severely injure a person or completely destroy a robot, like we saw in the first couple episodes. A sandstorm completely annihilated both the beginning bots I got. But enough rambling from me. I'll go ahead and speed up time just to get more resources, and then I'll start thinking about what I want to do. I've also turned off colonists and traders from the landing pad, just because there isn't anything from traders I really want or have enough resources to trade, and I really don't want more colonists right now until later. So one thing I am worried about a little bit is that I have 8 beds available, bulk beds. So I have 16 beds available, but I have 27 people. So really only a little more than half of the people are able to sleep at any given time, and during the night they all try to go to sleep. So there are people working throughout the night. What did I just try to build? Oh, an airlock. There are people working throughout the night, but it's not something that's ideal. And so hopefully once I get more metal, more bioplastics, start getting an idea of how I want things to go, I'll also have enough resources to put more bunk beds in the large dorm I built. I know that there's also the cabin, which is basically single level bed, but they're more comfortable, and a lot of people have played this game before, maybe screaming through their screens that there's the cabin and they're better for the people, which I do understand. But at the same time, what I try to do is that the first couple structures I build are sort of the easier ones to I guess the only word for it is manage. With the sleeping quarters, the first ones I want to build are the dorms, and then once I start getting control of all the different aspects in terms of managing the base, then I can start putting in cabins for more comfortable beds instead of just having these uncomfortable bunk beds. Okay, while I was rambling, apparently they actually made 2 more semiconductors, got the bot auto repair made, and the engineer is actually working on another drill bot. I know because I placed the left one on drill bot and the right one on carrier bots. Basically just things that bots to carry around. Sort of self-explanatory. I think the only buildings I haven't made that are indoors are the multi-dome, the bar, and the cabin. Cabin I've already explained. Bar and multi-dome are really lean more towards when you want to have visitors on the base with the spaceport, and I'm trying to avoid getting a lot of visitors until I can start to get more guards and have an arms construction area, basically a place to make guns. And that way we have armed guards throughout the base that are either monitoring cameras or just are generally around patrolling and whatnot. And that way if, bad visitors come and try to, kill everyone, take things, etc., then I will be able to defend myself. And so that's the alarm going off for the 10-minute mark, and it is time for Nerd Alert. Alright. Here we go. Alright, so for this episode's nerd alert, something I wanted to cover is very recently. I don't know if it was recently that it was, updated, or if it was something that one of my colleagues had learned recently, but I was recently informed that Jupiter has actually gone, the list of known moons for Jupiter has actually gone up, and now Jupiter has 79 known moons. That is a lot. Not as many as Saturn, but it's gone up from, I think it was either 67 or 68. I think it was 67 because they added 12 to the list. And so now Jupiter has 79 known moons, which is just mind-boggling. And with the nerd alert out of the way, we'll go ahead and get back to the game. So we have the bot auto repair that's going pretty nicely. The drill bot's actually using it. And so we are currently 15% through with producing another driller bot. Engineers work on it when they have time. I think what I want to do next is I wanted to, let's see. I think the biggest thing is the only thing left was to make another processing plant. I don't know if I want to make it small or large, but I definitely want another one, just that way there's more things. But I wanted to try holding off on that until I had more driller bots to help free up more workers. The storage is almost full, so that's something I could try doing, is just creating more storage. That meteor was actually pretty close. Which worries me a little bit, but I don't think it'll be too bad. We have 90 vegetables, which is a lot. I think we're actually producing more food than we're consuming, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either. I'm going to slow back time that way we don't, end up breaking anything in terms of storage facilities and anything like that. I know there were some outdoor buildings I was thinking about making, but I can't quite remember what they were. So I know that definitely, is this full? Okay, it is. It just, the water thing didn't look full for a second. I was kind of worried. But I know that I was looking at making another battery because I've had more buildings, thus using more power, and I was worried that why not create enough during the nighttime. And so that sort of worried me a bit, and it's almost nighttime anyway, and neither of those batteries are full, so thus further confirmed my worries of wanting to build another power collector. I also wanted to try starting getting some the anti-meteor stuff, like the anti-meteor laser. I think that was pretty much the only other thing. There's the radio antenna, but I think that was just simply to be able to govern who can land on your landing pads and spaceports. I haven't actually had much experience in using them, and I didn't feel a need to do it very soon anyway, just because I don't plan on making a spaceport until I plan on having visitors, and that won't be for a little bit, at least not until I get things here a little more under control. So I want to see how many free metal and bioplastic. So I have 6 free metal and 14 free bioplastic. That's a lot of free bioplastic. So what I'll go ahead and do is actually build more beds, because we need to. I currently have, I think it was 8 bunk beds, so 16 beds. And so we need 12 more, or technically 11 more, but bunk beds. So I need to build at least 6 more of these beds. I'm going to be pretty picky in how I place them, so I can try to fit 1 more in them. Because I know that in the small one, you can fit 7 beds, but I wasn't picking enough. And I wasn't able to do that. There's 3... Is that a TV show that was on the TV on the left-hand side? I still think it's funny how they can get any sort of signal. Or they could just be making their own TV. Almost. There. There's 5. I think the 6th one will nearly fill it, so I think I'll just completely fill this area, and then that way I don't have to worry much about it. And that way, instead of having 1 extra bed, there'll be 3, just in case I want more people to show up. It barely fits in there. So now they will have... I already forgot the number. Let's see, how far into the night are we? So we have full wind, which is nice, because it's powered. I was worried about the power. We're a little more than halfway through the night. And so I definitely think that once those get built, we don't have to worry about beds for a little bit. And the bots seem to be going pretty well. Still only 1 bot, so the engineers have not finished yet. I think what I'll do now... I think I'm probably going to build another storage, and then I'll build a bar? Yeah, I'll build a bar, because we have lots of vegetables. We're creating more than we're consuming, and I think vegetables can actually be used in a drink maker to make drinks. And having visitors and whatnot. I have over 100. I have 100 now, vegetables, damn. Yeah, I'm definitely creating more than I'm consuming. So, first off, okay, power's getting low, I think. I heard a notification and batteries look pretty bad. No, here, grid. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're using 94 power, and we're only creating a little bit from the windmills. Hopefully the solar panels will kick in before we run into power. That is very worrisome. So I'm not going to build a storage first. First, I'm going to build another power collector. So it is daytime now. Hopefully the... Yep, there it goes. It's starting to race because the solar panels are getting power again. I think. Almost. I think both solar panels produce 50, so it should be 100 plus whatever the windmills are making. Yeah. So they've definitely... Okay, they're definitely now producing more than they're consuming. I'm going to place down the thing for a large power collector because we need it. I'll go ahead and place this. Actually, I'll place it over here. Really isn't much need to place it next to the others. Let's see, where's a good spot? Oh, that works. And I'll connect it to that. No. Okay, let's turn the screen. There it goes. Okay. So they'll make that. I won't have to worry too much about the power for a little bit now. I'll also try to keep an eye on that. I heard another meteor. I saw the rubble too, but oh, there it is. It's like I saw the rubble bounce over this way, but like I didn't see the actual thing. So I believe we should already have enough metal to make it. We just have to get an engineer out to actually construct it. Do we have 2 bots? We do have 2 bots now. So we have, I think we have another driller bot. I think it is. Yep, it's another driller bot. Anytime they leave would be only to go to the auto repair. I think probably the best thing to do is to have 4 driller bots, 3 to be in and then 1 as a spare, so that way if one needs to come in for repairs, that one can immediately go back out, and that way maximum, there's sort of a maximum efficiency with the driller bots, which they are already more efficient than the workers themselves, and having a maximum efficiency from them would mean a lot more metal production just from having 1 mine. So I think it's starting to be at nighttime again. There's actually less power, I think, available than there was last time. I can't quite tell because that one wasn't full in the beginning, but now it is. Still kind of worried. I think probably what I'll want to do is pretty soon I will create another windmill. I don't want to create another solar panel yet because it's not quite necessary, but I definitely would eventually want to make another windmill. And we have hit the 20-minute mark, so I'm going to end the video here, so I'll go ahead and slow back down time again. thank you all for watching. Again, I know it was quite a bit of a jump. Things happen. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos throughout the future and hear more nerd alerts, go ahead and hit subscribe, turn on notifications if you want. Have a great rest of your day. Spaceman Josh, out.